we got to talk about this video, man. Like, Ken Jeong and his daughter.
Yes, that 8-year-old is his actual daughter. So it's pretty amazing that that's how he doesn't really talk to her like that in real life, just so you know. He's a pretty great dad.
How did all this come about in terms of Ken Jeong? Let's start with Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong's daughter, Zoe, who is adorable, and I may say is just as funny as he is. She's kind of ridiculous. She takes my mom's acting class in California, and so through that we've been really good family friends. And so when I was kind of writing the treatment for the video, I wanted to involve some comedic element in it, and I kind of imagine like having a crazy video director showing me some like really crazy video moves, and no one, I think, could possibly do that better than Ken Jeong. And so when my mom and I asked, we're like, would you want to do this video? And he said yes. We were like, yes, yes. It was amazing. And he was so collaborative and so awesome and just so funny and great to work with.
And you said that he approached this in a very method way.
Yes, totally. He came on set. I mean, for something, this is like a first music video of me, and it's not a huge deal. I mean, this is a guy who's worked on huge movies and huge shows, and he's like, in charge of his own show right now. And so I didn't really know how it'd be like to work with him, and he was so awesome and professional and like took it really seriously and kind of came on set and was like practicing his part, which was hilarious. Like, I was laughing all day. It was such an awesome day.
How did you come up with the treatment for the video?
It's funny because well, first of all, there was another kind of single in contention for being my first single, and I had come up with like an idea for that video. And so long story short, that single, at the end of the day, I didn't feel as strong as the first single as Boombox. And so when I kind of was like, to Big Machine, I was like, hey guys, Laura here, could Boombox, you guys think, be the first single? And they were like, yeah, sure, sounds good. I was like, oh, great, easy, amazing. But I knew I wanted to have, as cool of a video concept. I had a pretty cool video concept for the other one that I wanted for Boombox. And I thought, what would be, more cool than showing kind of like this video within a video concept of like how it is, not totally how it is to film a music video, but how everything, there's the behind the scenes stuff going on, seeing me get my hair and makeup done, seeing like the crew, seeing like that whole concept. I thought that was the first thing that I thought was kind of cool. And then I was like, ooh, wait, hold on. I think I just watched the Lizzie McGuire movie or something. I was like feeling really inspired. And I don't know if you guys are huge Lizzie McGuire movie fans, but
I mean, hi, who isn't?
The scene where Paolo is teaching Lizzie, right, is like really adorable. He's like teaching her, this is what dreams are made of. So I was like, oh my God, I want that adorable moment. I want a cute boy teaching me dance moves and have me fall in love with him. Like, come on, that's what I want. And so that happened. And then when I wanted to have the comedic element, I thought, oh, having a crazy video director could be a really cool element to it. So when I was writing the treatment, it was like a little scattered and not good. I like felt really embarrassed because I don't know how to write a video treatment. I'm not a video director. So it was very like, I also wrote in first person because I was like, I can't write Laura in third person. It's too weird. I can't be like, Laura starts off dancing and then
sitting in the corner staring.
I was like, but then it was like weird to write it in first person too. I was like, I am dancing with this cute boy, and then he teaches me how to dance. I mean, it was a horrible treatment, but I had the idea there, and then we found an awesome music video director, Cole Walliser, who's actually in the video. He's awesome. He actually, long story short, started as an accountant in college, then became a video editor, then became a music video director, but he also was a choreographer and a dancer at some point, so he's a great dancer, so he's dancing in one of the shots there. He took my really bad treatment and made it colorful and pretty and way more professional, and the Boombox video was born from that.
I have to say, listening to you, what strikes me is how much creative control you have over everything.
Totally. That was very important to me. I think, being an artist, it's different from being an actress, right? As an actress, you are kind of going in to a part that is, given to you, and you get to develop certain characteristics, but you kind of have the fine print of, where you're going with it. And as an artist, it's all you, which makes it like a gazillion billion times more scary because it's way more intimate and more personal, but it's cool to kind of show that side of you. And I knew that I wanted to be able to be in charge of that as much as possible. And I'm really lucky because Big Machine has given me that ability and that opportunity to have complete freedom as an artist and a lot of creative control. It's scary sometimes because it's like I'm a new artist and I need help. I'm like, I can't do everything by myself. I don't know totally what I'm doing, but it's awesome to be able to have the freedom to do what I want to do. It's been really amazing.
Well, you were on the Disney Channel for 5 years, and I am guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, what you probably took away from that is an intense work ethic.
Oh, for sure.
I know that that's what Disney is really about, is like, be punctual, know your lines, be professional.
For sure. I think one thing I will say, and I think from working with Disney, I've been an actress for 15 years. I started acting when I was 5, and even just wonderful qualities my family's taught me, having a work ethic is crazy important to me. That's like what I base my whole life on, is like working really hard. And when you're working on a show, when you're working on any type of show, especially a Disney Channel show, when you have a big part, yes, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I had an amazing time and it was incredible, but we had long days, especially when I turned 18 and I could work adult hours. We're talking about like long days here, like
16, 18-hour days, right?
Like long days. And you definitely, it's like training, and it's great for developing a work ethic. But again, kind of the difference between the two is you're kind of given a schedule, which is kind of nice. You're like, know what you're doing every day. As an artist, you kind of choose your own schedule. And so if you don't have a work ethic already, I can imagine it could be kind of difficult to start from scratch and be like, I don't really want to do this today, or, I'm not feeling it. Like, for me, coming off for Austin Alley, I was like, well, I need 13-hour days, right? Doesn't everyone need 13-hour days? What? Come on. What am
I going to do?
Yeah, totally. And which is sometimes not the healthiest thing, but I like working. I like working hard. Like, that's what my whole life has been about.
Now, in terms of your music now, what topics are you exploring in your songwriting? By the way, congratulations on writing your own songs.
Thank you.
That's also a huge no, it seems like such a basic thing, but so few people do it anymore.
Yes, but I will say, I get how sometimes, because I'm totally open to hearing outside songs as well, just about kind of going along with my story. The person that I look up to, one of the most, I think, incredible people, is Pink. I think she's like,
God.
She's so amazing. She's like the voice, the performing ability, her songwriting ability, and yet even she sometimes, accepts outside songs where she feels like they are incredible and they go with her story. Because I think, I'm a songwriter and my story is really important, but I'm definitely not the greatest songwriter. And, I'm still working on my craft, and I still strive to work as hard as I can, but still find songs that I think go with me and go with my sound and go with my story that connect. For me, when I found myself writing and recording the songs, I have a lot of like self-empowerment songs. And it's funny because I didn't really expect that. Sometimes it happens in the room, but I would constantly just go in the room and be like, I want to write a song today about people trying to tell me no, and I'm just gonna be like, forget you, I'm doing what I want. Like, I found myself saying that a lot in like different writing rooms. I don't know why, but well, maybe I do know why. But my album has a lot of that kind of aspect. And then of course, it has a lot of aspects from a lot of different parts of my life. So there's definitely some romantic songs. There are definitely songs about a love developing. There's songs about maybe lost connections. It's kind of all over the place, a little in the romantic field, but it's been a really fun process. It's been exciting.
I just have to say, if someone threatened me with death, I could not write a song. I really couldn't.
Oh, I bet you could.
No, well, I could, but no one would want to hear it. Let's put it that way. How do you know? First of all, what is your writing process like? Do you sit down? Like, do you have a set schedule?
It's totally different every single time.
Okay.
Every single time. So it's, when I first started writing, back in the day, when I was a kid, I came up with the melody and lyrics in my head all the time. So I started playing piano when I was 9, but I never wrote with an instrument. I don't know why. I kind of wish I did a little bit more, but I just kind of would come up with the melody and lyrics. Best writing place when I was younger was in the shower. You can't really.
That's what everyone says.
It's like, I don't know what it is, the acoustic. I don't know if it's like the water running on your back. I don't know, but it's like a great place to write. You can't really co-write in the shower because I feel like there's laws against that. So,
how would you share the songwriting
that wouldn't really work
that?
out. But when I was younger, that's kind of where I would do everything, and then I had.
Wait, so did you have like a dry erase board?
And I had a great memory. I feel like my memory's gotten worse, which is, I don't know what's
Old
happening
age,
in that
baby.
situation.
Old age.
I know, 20, man. You're like, look out for yourself. But I had a kind of a partner who I would sing the whole song to him, and then he would come up with the chords and come up with like the harmonic background. And so then when I did that for years. And then when I got Austin Alley, a lot more, that was kind of my amateur way of writing. You know what I mean? Like, because I really didn't know what else to do. I didn't know how to get in the music business. I just didn't know. I was in the acting world deep, but not in the music business. So then when I got Austin Alley, a lot more doors opened up for me. And I finally started doing, professional co-writing sessions. And those did not, again, originate in the shower. They were like in a room where I would kind of, it's funny, it started out where I would do the same thing. I would kind of come in with the whole song, like written with melody and lyrics, and then it's a way more collaborative process where they would be like, okay, well, what if we try this? And then you kind of like come up with stuff on the spot that was like exciting and new and a little, it wasn't what I was used to. So I was a little like, what is this? What is happening? But then I got used to it, and now it's such a different process all the time. I'll start something on the piano, and then right from there I'll write to track. I'll come up with a melody first. I'll come up with like chords first. I'll come up with like a lyric idea first. So it's like, it's a very different process. And sometimes I'll hear a song that I really, really love, and I'm like, okay, I love this, but it's not me yet. It's not part of my story. So then I'll kind of change a few melody things, but it's mostly lyric things. So it's different all the time.
That is so interesting to hear.
And it's so
someone
fun.
Talk about that.
It's so fun. And that's what I think is cool about it, because it changes all the time. It's never the same, and it's awesome.
Who is your, I guess, what is the word? I don't even know the word. Your listener, the first person that you play a song for.
Good question.
That will honestly tell you whether it's working, it's not working, you gotta ditch it, this is the single.
My music manager, for sure. Yeah, she is like the person right away when I get a song, I'll play it for her, I'll send it to her. And it's funny because we've known each other for a while, so I'll always know like what her feedback means. Like, the worst thing I think she could tell me is that she thinks it's cute. If she's like, oh, it's cute, I'm like, I'm like, oh, so you hate it. Or another thing that she's like, good start. And I'm like, wait, but the whole song is there. She is always really honest with me, which I love. And I know, like, if she likes a song, then I feel like I'm in a good direction. Then definitely my mom. And my mom is brutally honest. My mom is like, hate it. It's horrible. I'm like, thanks, Mom. Just poured my soul into that one, but no big deal. But I definitely in the beginning was kind of shy to play it to like friends, and now I feel bad. I like annoy my friends all the time. I'm like, so what do you think of this one? Tell me what your honest opinion. Tell me what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Play it. Like, you know what I mean? But in the beginning, I was so insecure because I was like, oh my God, if they hate it, that's so embarrassing. Like, what if they judge me? What if they don't take me seriously? But you kind of get over that, and you get to a point where you just want everyone to listen.
How did you come up with Boombox?
So Boombox was an outside song that I, heard, and I was like, hey, I really like this one. I think this has potential. And I got in. There was a lot of writers, and we kind of all came in together, and I was super nervous. There was a lot of writers in that studio that day, and I was like, overwhelmed. I'm like I like 2 writers with me at most. Like, I'm a small kind of person, and so it was a little overwhelming. But then we worked on the song, and I started recording, and we talked about like production things, and it was a really great session. And what came from it really on the first, we definitely had notes after that, but from that first recording session was everyone really thought it was strong. And so I had that in August. And then from that, I was writing and recording other songs in the studio for other things, and we were kind of still looking. And I kept coming back to Boombox. I kept coming back to being like, this is really strong. This is really catchy. And I love that it's a song that sounds me and sounds like my sound, but at the same time, also I feel like can transition my fans who've known me from Austin Alley and as an actress into this new venture that I'm going to. I felt like it was a great transitioning songs as well as just like a really catchy, strong song. And I loved lyrically where it's at. And on top of it, I have a flip phone and I watch VHS tapes. And so I thought it was very fitting, thank you, that my first single be called a retro item, Boombox.
I actually was going to ask you about that. That literally was my next question.
Yes,
like, whether
really?
you're a retro girl, yeah.
I am such a retro girl. In fact, I feel like the world is trying to bring me down in the retro way. Like my phone is amazing, but my service right now is like, because I guess I have 2G service, which I know. It's. I didn't know I had 2G service. I thought flip phones could be 3G.
Wait, when you text, do you have to do like?
No, I have TI-89.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have to be like IGH. Hi. No, I could be like, it guesses your word for you. It's like a little game. Like, it's fun. Flip phones are fun, everyone.
Oh, and also, I might add, they don't break.
They don't break. I swear, it's so funny. They literally don't break. I can't tell you how many people have tried to break my phone. This one is a little annoying. I've only had 3 phones my whole life, which is not bad for being 20. It's not bad at all. Like, people have 3 phones in like 3 years. But I just got this new flip phone from Amazon.com. And
they actually sell them still?
They do, but they used to sell it in the store, and it's getting harder and harder. Anyway, I'm not bitter. This phone, when the battery falls out, you have to like reset the date and time, so that's like kind of annoying. But my phone, it's like really, I'm such a clumsy person, and it's like so hard to break. One of my favorite stories ever is DNCE. I was like at Miami, the Jingle Ball, and Joe like keeps trying to break my phone and like it won't break, and finally he's like, look, it won't break, and he like drops on the floor and like the battery fell out, so everyone thought he did actually break my phone, but I was like,
not so much.
I was like, haha, joke's on you, suckers. I'm like, it doesn't break, it's great.
And before we go to the audience, I do want to ask you about your work with UNICEF, because I think what you do is pretty damn amazing.
Thank you.
How did you get involved, and what is your role today?
I have to say, one of the amazing things that came from working with Disney Channel was my opportunity to work with UNICEF, which was awesome. I was 15, 16. I was like a sophomore in high school, and someone from Disney came and was like, we have this opportunity. Would you want to work with UNICEF? And you have to understand, I've been wanting to work with UNICEF for like my whole life. It's, I think, an amazing organization. It's the #1 organization when it comes to like saving children around the world. So amazing. So when
legit is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. And when they said that, I was like, yes, yes, yes. And so I came to New York and I had a meeting with them, and it was so lovely. We had a great conversation. And for me, there are so many things I want to talk about, but one of my, one of the things that is so important to me is education. And there's so many kids around the world who don't have the same opportunities in education that we have here. And there's so many kids in America who don't have the same opportunities in education that you have in different situations. Education, I think, is so important, and it provides hope for people who are in situations where they feel like there's no way out. So, we had a whole great conversation about that, and I still am like dying to go. We keep trying to go in, and the schedules get hard, but go to a field trip and like help with the schooling, or help. There's different things you can like build a school, you can have supplies for a school, it's a whole situation. But my first thing with them was doing the trick or treat for UNICEF, which was so cool and so much fun. And in my year, it was one of the strongest years that they've had in recent years. So it was like really cool. I was like, yes, go help. This is amazing. And it's funny because you guys know in New York, trick or treat for UNICEF, you have the orange little cute box, and you go and ask, and each little thing, every little helps. You can buy, my God, $1 buys food for a month for some, like this great mountain nutrition food, has school supplies. But in the West Coast, trick or treat for UNICEF actually is not really that big of a thing. I have no idea why. And so my goal kind of was to really bring awareness with it in the West Coast, and that happened. So it was really, really cool. I love it.
I think it's amazing that was one of the first things you did.
It was really, really cool. And since then, I've gone to the gala, and we've, anytime anything I can do, I want to do. Like, I want to go to a field trip so bad and just cry, and like, it's going to be amazing.
Well, you know what you need to do is just stop making really good music.
Yeah,
have
totally.
a lot of free time.
Yes.
And that won't be an issue.
I just need to get rid of everything and just move to Tanzania. Yes.
So let's turn it over to our audience, please.
Great. We're going to start with a question from an online viewer. So Mary says, since you are visiting New York, is there anything about the city that may inspire your future songwriting?
Ooh, good question. I think I draw inspiration from everything. I draw inspiration from my friends' experiences, my experiences. I love New York. I think it's like just such a romantic city. So of course, I get inspired from everything. I sometimes even get inspired from like my imagination. Like I feel like one thing will happen and then I will spin it into something else. Like a song will all of a sudden be about a situation. Like I feel if people knew the songs I've written about them, they'd be like, this didn't happen, you are crazy. And I'm like, but it happened in my mind. Yeah, exactly. But New York is very inspirational for sure.
Do your friends ever tell you this, like something really crazy, and then they're like, if this ever ends up in a song, we are defriended?
Well, it's funny because in the beginning, a lot of my friends didn't even realize like I was into music, and I would totally steal things that they said to me and put it in songs. And I was like, oh, I hope they never like listen to this because they would know. It was awkward.
Next question, please.
Hey, Laura. Thank you for being here. Have you
Thank
ever
you.
received any advice from your label mates at Big Machine?
Great question. So it's been really cool because I actually just met I haven't met Taylor yet. I saw her at a VMA party and she gave me a nod. It was the best moment of my life. But I just recently met Thomas Rhett, and I met the Florida Georgia Line boys, met Maddie and Tay, and everyone's been really sweet. And I think everyone's whole thing is just really enjoy the process, and I think that's such a true statement because it can sometimes be hard to remember to enjoy the process because there's so much going on. But at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying the journey, then there's like no point to it.
You might as well get another job at that point.
Exactly.
Next question,
Hi,
please.
Laura.
Hey.
So my question is, what is the difference for you from performing live and recording music? And do you prefer one over the other?
Yes, I much prefer performing live. For a fact, performing live, you have the energy from the audience. I don't know, I feel like, even though recently I've gotten a little bit nervous, but usually I feel less pressure from performing live. Like, there's something about recording in a studio where it's like, you and the mic like right here, and there's like people in the room listening, and it's like really intimate and personal and scary. And I don't know, I've always just it's still overwhelming. It's gotten like better and better, but especially when you're like recording with people you don't know that well, like it's obviously easier when you like know the writers, but sometimes it's like you're speed dating with these guys. You have to like pour your soul, first of all, into the lyrics and like the concept and hope they like it. And then afterwards you have to like go in the studio and be like, and sing it out and pour your soul in that way. So it's like, it's a little scary.
Then you have Ken Jeong looking at you being like,
And then
do it
Ken
exactly
Jeong's there
like
for
that,
some
but
reason.
different.
And you're like, Ken, what are you doing here? And he's like, I know, I'm gonna leave.
And the last question, please.
Hi, Laura.
Hey.
I'm a big fan of Austin Alley.
Yay.
What's the weirdest thing that happened to you?
The weirdest thing that happened to me for Austin Alley
Or like anything?
in life?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had some weird things.
That's a big question.
That is a big question. I've had some weird things. So let's see. I've had an 11-year-old fan girl who was super cute kiss me on the lips. And I was like, in New York, actually. That happened like maybe like a year ago. And I was like, I had no idea how to take it. Like, I didn't know. It kind of felt like she was, I don't know. I kind of felt like that was like a typical thing for her. Like maybe like she was from some sort of like, I don't know. Like that was like, it wasn't weird for her. Like she was just like welcoming me. She was like, Laura, I love you. Mwah. And I was like, oh, hi, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like, hold on, take me on a date first. But that was pretty weird. I didn't know how to react to that one. I've had, this has really nothing to do with anything, but when I was 5, I locked myself in a bathroom, and it was to my favorite pizza restaurant, and they didn't have a key, so the fire department had to come and knock down the door, and we were never welcome in the pizza restaurant again. So that was a weird one. That was. I'm still sorry about that.
Sorry, pizza restaurant. Well, Boombox is out now, and when can
Yes.
Do you have a date for the album yet? Like even a rough date?
In the fall. So I'm like turning the album in, and it's really scary. I'm almost done. I have like one spot that we're like. I have a lot of songs, and it's like my babies, and you have kind of a limited number that you're given for the album plus some bonus songs. So it's like really tough to like fit everything that you want in like your story and the album. So almost done, almost there. So look for it probably in the fall and later this year.
And will Ken Jeong be making a cameo?
Ken Jeong will be singing throughout. I'm not singing.
Great.
I'm just writing it. So
Okay, you guys heard it here first.
yeah, you know what? I haven't
Ken
seen.
Jeong featuring Laura Marano.
I mean, what I really want to urge people to see is I want to see this photo with Ken Jeong's face, like on the face, photoshopped. Don't know why I haven't seen that yet, but
Any
he's
day
amazing.
now.
Any day.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.